Hey guys, it's Mark from the Foxhole team. I just wanted to give you guys a preview of the upcoming factory system. I wanted to also talk about some of the game design decisions that have gone into this. As you guys know, we released an earlier version of the factory system a few updates ago in the dev branch. It didn't make it into the final release, but because we held back on the feature after hearing some of the feedback from the community. So we've gone back to the drawing board. We've made some improvements, and you're going to be seeing the next version of the factory system soon. So before I get into how the factory system works, I want to talk about some of our high-level goals for this new system. And the first of these goals is that we really wanted to turn production from a short-term reactive type of activity to a long-term more proactive type of activity. We really want the side that is planning for the long term, thinking about the bigger picture, the larger strategy, to be more effective at, at production. So that's kind of the first goal that we have here. The second goal is that we wanted the production pipeline to feel much more like what a real production pipeline would be for weapons in a real war. So we're not aiming to be a simulation of a real war, but we really feel that, for example, the where you produce your weapon should be different from where a soldier would procure their weapon. Whereas right now in the game with the armories as an example, the procurement and the production of weapon is kind of in the same place. So that's something that we really wanted to fix. And on top of the high level goals, we wanted to solve a couple of other specific gameplay issues. One, we really want to solve the bottlenecks that we have at the armory. We also wanted to remove the need to have to babysit your production structures, and we also wanted to minimize the amount of damage that a griefer can do in the production system, and also want to just improve the general quality of life of production in the game. So that's sort of all the stuff that we were thinking about when coming out with this new system. So I'm just gonna jump in here and show you guys how it works. So first, I'm going to approach the factory, and I'm going to bring up the factory screen. So as you can see here, this is the weapon factory. There are going to be several types of factory in the game. Each one will produce different type of item. The uh, the different types of factories will be reflective of the current production structure in the game. So there'll be one factory that will be for producing weapons, one for producing tools and other miscellaneous items, and one for producing medical items. So as you can see on this right panel here, you can see that I currently have no pending orders. And if I want to make an order, I click on the Make Order button. And from here, I will choose the items that I want to add to my order. Now, these you don't produce these items individually. They're made in large quantities, and they're also made in the form of a crate. So I'll get into that in a little bit, but for now, I'm going to add a rifle, a grenade, rifle ammo, and a mortar shell to my order. It shows you the cost of the order here. Now, just keep in mind these numbers are stand-in. This order will cost a lot more in the actual game once the update is released. These are just stand-in numbers that I'm using here. But in any case, I want to go ahead and hit yes, and now my order is being worked on at this factory. So I can see how long it's going to take until my order is ready. And during this time, I'm able to actually walk around and go do something else, knowing that my order is saved. So my order is a private order. The only one who can pick the order up when it's complete is myself. So I no longer have to worry about someone else coming in to steal my order I can just take my time, go do some other activity, and then return to the factory once it's complete. So you can see here, order ready in 3, 2, 1. And now I will be able to pick up my order by pressing this button here. And you can see the crates of items that I have. Now, one thing I want to note here is that this is a crate of unassembled rifles. Submit crate to stockpile to assemble. So this means that these rifles cannot be accessed until they are brought to a stockpile, and the same goes for all items in these other crates here. So there's one more thing before I get to the next part that I want to show you guys. If I make an order of items, let's say we just queue up a bunch of mortar shells here, and the order has started, I can cancel the order. So when I cancel the order, I get all the materials back that I spent on it. This is an issue with the current production system that I know a lot of players want it fixed, and the new factory system is going to fix that issue. So now the next step in this process is I need to bring these crates over to a town hall. And before I do that, I'm going to load these crates in my truck. And one thing I did want to add, I want to head to Liberation Point here to drop those crates off at the town hall there. But one thing I wanted to note was that we're also going to be adding the stockpile to the outpost so that crates will be able to be dropped off at an outpost as well. So the two locations you can drop off crates is at a town, at a town hall in a town, and an outpost somewhere else on the map. So now I'm going to grab these crates from the truck, and I'm going to bring them and place them right here. And I'm going to add them to the stockpile, and now you can see that these rifles have been added to the stockpile. Currently, in this version, they are made in quantities of 20. Those numbers are still being finalized. As you can see here, the ammo for the rifles are made in quantities of 50. So this goes back to our goal of having items produced at mass, and plays into the long-term planning aspect of production that we're trying to achieve here. So that's how the factory system works. There is one thing I did want to kind of talk about really quickly, and I do feel that now that production is a little bit of a two-step process, it may cause a little bit of stress for players that are used to just going directly to the armory, procuring some rifles, and then kind of like being on their way. This is going to change from that to a two-step process, and I think this is going to cause some stress for some players at first, especially players used to the old system. They might feel like, oh, things take longer and when they don't need to. But I think that one thing that might happen is that even though this is a two-step process, when you're planning for the long run and you're working with other players, that this system has the potential to allow you to work more efficiently than the old one, even though it's a two-step process. Because first of all, you won't have to spend any time having to babysit your production structures, for one. You don't have to waste time by dealing with people stealing your items, and you'll just be able to manage your pipeline a lot more efficiently. And also, when retrieving items at a stockpile, you can do that in parallel. So the more players you have, the faster you'll be able to do that. And we feel like a properly managed production pipeline under this new system, especially when done with a group of players, has the potential to be more effective than the old system. So ultimately, though, like all other features in the pre-alpha, this is a theory that has to be put to the test. So we're excited to see what happens when we put this into the dev branch and hopefully into the next update. So yeah, we hope to hear all your feedback, and we're excited to see how this feature works out. Thanks a lot, guys.